look at Bitcoin. Now, the reason this is important, and by the way, if you look at this chart, Bitcoin's barely moved over the last couple weeks, but what's intriguing about Bitcoin here is that we rallied up into this pivot high, right? So if we look at resistance, see this high from April 14th, it was 31,045, let's call it. Well, we pierced it here, and then just a couple days ago, we closed right there after piercing, and then look at the selling taking place.
Today, Gareth Soloway shares his insights on the current state of Bitcoin and highlights the lack of significant price movement over the past few weeks. Soloway finds it intriguing that the cryptocurrency has struggled to break out after rallying up to the recent pivot above $30,000. He points out its underperformance compared to the rising Nasdaq, but still remains a long-term bull on Bitcoin, heading into the last half of the year. Soloway suggests that Bitcoin's underperformance in such a favorable market is very unexpected and potentially bearish, but believes that Bitcoin dominance will ultimately head higher long-term, with a target level around $59,000 to $60,000. Soloway notes a shift in investor attention from altcoins to Bitcoin, resulting in a surge of bullish sentiment. He expresses concerns about the significant influence of tech stocks, which have seen remarkable performance, indicating a level of overvaluation he hasn't seen in quite some time. Let's get right into the latest interview, as Soloway gives us his Bitcoin and crypto market prediction for the next few months, and what we can expect in the last half of the year. Don't forget to share your thoughts and comments down below, and leave a like if you enjoy the content we do here. Let's get right into the video.
This chart on the Bitcoin dominant. Basically, and remember, charts replay out over and over again. You'll find this same consolidation on 1,000 other charts out there. And again, the probabilities favor a breakout. If it doesn't break out, that's where you get a failed move, and failed moves in technical analysis result in major moves in the opposite direction. So the reason why I'm bringing up that 29,800, 29,900 level is because if we fail, if the bullish pattern fails here, you should expect a move to at minimum 25,000, maybe as low as 22 to 20,000 on Bitcoin, probably within a month or two. What this is telling me is that Bitcoin is having a very hard time breaking out. And the concerning factor here is that this was, and maybe is still, bullish consolidation on the chart. But the problem is it should be at a point of breaking out, and it's not. And that makes me concerned that you look at the downside level of support, which is 29,900, 850, and we might be headed back down there. Now, if we break that and we have a daily close below that, so basically this line right here, that basically creates a failed bull flag. Failed bull flags mean that you can potentially have a major move to the downside. So again, let me recap the analysis on the Bitcoin chart here. So number one, Bitcoin failing again to break out. And for those of you that know the methodology, the PPT methodology that I teach in the Winning Trader series, we know that this is a 2x time count. Time counts are very important in charting. So again, for it to fail and not break out on a 2x time count, that is significant. As it comes down here, can it hold this 29.8, 29.9 level? Does it close below? A close below potentially means very bearish price action on Bitcoin. If it can rally up here and close above 31,000 or 31,001 and change, whatever this high pivot is here, that again will be the precursor to staying above for a few days and maybe having a breakout. But right now, this price action is not good. And I want to say this, a lot of people, again, if you go on crypto Twitter, if you go anywhere, there is so much bullish sentiment out there on Bitcoin that you would honestly, if I just looked at crypto Twitter, I'd be like, oh man, Bitcoin must be near the all-time highs. That's concerning. Another thing that's concerning to me is that if you look at the NASDAQ has been going up nonstop for how long? I mean, look at this chart. And again, I have some other data on this, but nonetheless, we've been in an uptrend on this, not only since October of 2022, but look at the recent price action, right? And again, to not see Bitcoin performing better in that environment is somewhat surprising and potentially a bearish signal. So again, just be aware. Now, I want to talk about altcoins. First of all, let's go to the Bitcoin dominance chart. This is a Bitcoin dominance chart. We can easily see it was a breakout, right? This is, by the way, this is what should happen with Bitcoin. All right, this is the sideways consolidation. It tested, well, almost tested, and then it broke out. So that's the perfect scenario for Bitcoin, right? To repeat this chart on the Bitcoin dominant. Basically, and remember, charts replay out over and over again. You'll find this same consolidation on 1,000 other charts out there. And again, like if someone told me they were long Bitcoin right now, I would say, okay, that's okay, as long as you understand where to exit that. Now, when we go to the Bitcoin dominance chart, this pattern is a little bit negative in the short term. Now, remember, I'm talking very short term. Bitcoin dominance longer term has broken out of the bigger pattern. So again, Bitcoin dominance to me is heading much, much higher. All right, Ben Cowan and I have agreed on this. We've done our show, The No Shill Zone, which is Monday mornings at 11. But basically, you're headed here to approximately this 59, 60% level, right? There's a big level here as well. So this is where Bitcoin dominance eventually will head. And you guys know I'm a long-term bull on Bitcoin. I love Bitcoin longer term. I'm just a very short-term trader. We have to understand what is going on. Tesla's deliveries, and this may shock some of you guys. Tesla deliveries were over 50% of those deliveries went to China. I repeat, over 50%, that's over 5 out of every 10 vehicles went to China. Now, what's the issue here? And this is the risk that, in my opinion, a lot of these analysts, like Dan Ives, great analyst, but they're not quantifying the risks here. All right. So let's go back to China real quick. China over the last couple days, they said they are going to curb the export of rare earth metals that go into semiconductors. This is a response to the US saying we're not going to ship a bunch of AI semiconductors to China. In addition, China now has just come out and says that the US is making Taiwan a powder keg because of essentially military equipment sales to Taiwan. Basically, what I'm saying here, guys, is there's a tit for tat going on, that there is a risk of it exploding into something bigger.
Soloway believes Tesla's stock price could plummet by over 50%, but cautions that this risk is not adequately reflected in Tesla's valuation or discussed by analysts. He also raises concerns about China banning the sale of Teslas in their country, given their substantial sales volume there. Economically, Soloway does mention that he's concerned about the lack of panic in the market, despite higher rates from the Federal Reserve and the unrest we're seeing in major powerhouse countries. He also mentions the SEC's recent dismissal of Bitcoin ETF filings, which could contribute to investor hesitancy. Soloway points out that the interest in undervalued altcoins is being driven by the strong performance of the stock market. What do you think about Gareth Soloway's crypto and stock market prediction, and where we're headed in the last half of 2023? Comment down below. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more content just like this. We'll see you in the next video.